Hello everyone, and welcome to the Peddling Princess Podium. I'm your host, John Ardelli, and today I'm at a rally for ACORN Cape Breton. It's April 11th, and they're doing a demonstration in front of our Civic Centre on slum housing.
Home we sit, are we broken-hearted? We're happy and cheerful as can be.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Slum lords have gotta go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Slum lords have gotta go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Slum lords have gotta go! What do we want? Healthy homes! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Healthy homes! When do we want it? Now!
What ACORN has been about has been to ask the municipality to enforce their bylaws, strike a committee that's comprised of ACORN, landlords, and representatives of the city to discuss how these bylaws can be enforced to the benefit of people that are living in terrible conditions. There's people that have concerns that, well, you know, maybe my landlord's going to evict me and that sort of thing, and we all know that there's very little opportunity for decent apartments and rental units here in the city. So that needs to be addressed, because the people that are in these sorts of situations are community members just like any of us standing here, and they deserve the same respect, and that's really what we're looking for. This is Canada, and we don't let the weakest people just go by the wayside. That's not what we're about.
I don't live in a bad housing situation myself, but I've been in many others, and in the past I've lived in them, and I understand that it is an epidemic, and it seems to be more concentrated in this part of the world just because of, I guess, the age things were built. It's never really been, like, there's been improvements over time, but a lot of things like basements and such have probably stood for like over 100 years, some of them, and some of the ones I've been in and that landlords charge money for are pretty ridiculous. So hopefully this group will be able to do something to curb that.
I was telling a story about a landlord that had one of his workers bored. He was forced into cleaning up the Pigeon Act and the Bird Act that was breeding in the attic of an apartment building that he did own and rented. They boarded the pigeons, the babies, the eggs, the whole shot in there. Whatever, they didn't get them out of there before they fastened the whole thing up. They did it while they were in there and left them there to die. You just don't lock them in and leave them to die. That runs into more than a health situation, doesn't it? It runs into cruelty. It runs into many, many factors. And it runs into ventilation systems going through the whole apartment system. Women, men, children breathing this in.
The first bone I have to pick is, why is it that CBRN has money to care for stray dogs and stray cats, but we don't have an office to care for individuals in need? And I think that along with the slumlords to be taken care of, I think we should have a department to help take care of emergency situations, immediate situations, and a couple of people to represent the CBRM and tenants so that we can help them. The second thing I have a problem with is the way that the public treats the issue of homelessness and couch surfing and slumlords, and they don't seem to think that it exists. And I think that we have to get more visual with our displays of some of these places that people are living.
It's okay.
I've been living in Sydney for nearly 10 years now, and of those 10 years, at least 5 of those were in slum conditions. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Being new to this community, you don't really have the ins to know, like renting from friends and whatnot. You would have to just go out there and search. And the majority of what I ended up finding was these horrible apartments. And really, when you're in that state and you don't have those links and you have a low income or low funds, it's almost inevitable that you'll end up in that situation because the apartments around here are just in that condition. So to have a group standing up against that and to enforce the laws that already exist to prevent that is a brilliant idea.
For God's sake, come to rule.
We're going to change things in this town, but it's going to take a lot of thought and a lot of work and a lot of motivation. And that's what Sydney and Cape Breton was built on. And I want everyone to remember that in this room. That Cape Bretoners are not quitters, we're fighters. And we've got to embrace that past and move forward in the future.
When your dad will draw on that brand new